It could have been Fiora or Kale.
You know what this is actually good for? Is the setup for a third game.
True. That being said, I think that, you know, if the Kale was picked, that would have been better setup for a third game. We would have got there much quicker.
That is true. Paddock might be in some serious trouble here. Even with just Kellen, he's at risk. He does have Cleanse this time around, obviously going to get a lot of failure. And that can Peter be in time? I don't think so.
Well, they're going to see what they can do.
Oh, yeah, they're waiting for Raptor, which means that there is actually time, and the wave is already thinned out.
Yeah, in they go. Grasping Roots comes down as now Peter gets on in there. Stranglethorns through as well as the Ignite's ticking, but it's not enough. Always drink your potions as Raptor, you absolute insane man, as the True Shot Barrage doesn't do enough, but still Diablo taking matters into his own hands is going to be able to get it done. Peter, with the headbutt, will be able to take down the Plant Lady, but it's plates going on over to the Ezreal.
That is going to have to rely on Peter or Paddock finding access to that as we have another Raptor gank.
Yeah, him and Kellen making their way in. There's the Flash Zenith play. The headbutt pushes Kellen back as there is no unbreakable will. And so Peter will instead be broken. There's a nice pick up there for BNK as the hop out from casting. He's just kind of messing with Clear right now. That sidestep, gorgeous. As casting's Gnar play looking scrumptious right now. 3 grubs will go over to Raptor in the interim. I'm on this Gnar. We were making fun of the pick, but actually it was probably a good idea as the stun comes through. Another headbutt pole as the Ignite is down. Kellen is going to be taken first. The Stranglethorns does basically nothing as the Chaos Storm used in tandem just made sure that there was no way that this tanky support was going to survive. It switched.
The teleport advantage they also couldn't utilize. Clear had his, whereas Casting didn't, but Casting kept the wave shoved up and was sitting on his Narbar pretty well as well. As
getting himself out, Flash invested.
He doesn't have his ult, otherwise he would have used that.
He was pretty scared of the situation though. I think that if he was solar flared, he probably wouldn't have died, but not a lot of information available.
Yeah, he didn't know, right? Knows that he couldn't have backed yet. Could have been doing a turret, but...
Well, Paddock going to cleanse the Solar Flare. Chains of Corruption as the flash forward from Raptor goes straight into those chains, but sandwiched into the wall, squished like a bug from Vikla. And that's going to be feats of strength of warfare at least going over to BNK, and they'll take just all of it. As first turret goes over to them as well, so some nice new shoes.
See, and also Leona just kind of hates it when you do that. But now, with this, BNK further building upon the lead.
Yeah.
Peter though looking to punish.
Kellen is spotted out. Solar Flare is going to be on where BDD used to be. And Kellen might actually be sacrificed here. They still do manage to pick up the Rift Herald, but KT once again put Kellen in the ground.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, KT. That's a lot invested just to kill Leona. I'd still just go for a delayed contest as Paddock takes a free headbutt to the face.
Yeah, he's Diablo able to drive Shelly into this tower, and it does go down. Vikla and Diablo a fair bit of structural damage.
They're taking Dragon, KT.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time positioning around here, KT, and you've decided you're not going to go in. Hex flash forward here from Peter. Try and find an angle. Let's see whether they can actually get one, as that is the Drake secured by BNK, but now the fight is on. Vikla in a bit of trouble. Chaos Storm being dealt with, but now Diablo gets his fangs into BDD. Misses a whole bunch of abilities, though. And once again, Kellen's on the floor. Now Diablo finds himself the target instead of the attacker because he gets a turn on him. Has a great ulti, but does get himself out. True Shot Barrage doesn't go the right way to lock down the Viego. Action this game, that certainly feels good. Oh, actually, less action.
Less, yeah. I will
never mind. So that feels bad. I was just trying to find a positive, and that was going to be a positive until I got it completely wrong. But now, we might have another team fight as Diablo going aggressive, throwing out a whole bunch of buttons towards Peter and Cuz, who are now very, very low. But Cuz is still in range to smite this. It's still a 50-50. This could still be a disaster as in they go, and it's locked down by Raptor. Peter now in trouble. Diablo gone completely ballistic.
Casting?
As they get themselves the Otacon as well as more. Is now Casting looking to send them all home, but instead, he's going to give a triple kill over to this Ezreal. As Paddock could be in trouble, but they don't have the vision on him. And
all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Diablo's a great basket.
He is a pretty good basket, as there is another cleanse out from Paddock, and you can't cleanse death, unfortunately, so it doesn't quite do enough. Casting now trying to deal with Raptor and Diablo.
Still died.
Yeah, there's like every ult
flashed
used as well, basically. That's all right. BDD upgrading himself a little bit here, but I just don't know whether it's quite going to upgrade enough. BNK here looks like Raptor will not be contested on that one, as Diablo is also just taking this inner turret with impunity. Absolutely nothing Paddock can do about it. I thought that Mystic shot missed, but Paddock maybe walked into it by accident there. as BDD being very vocal in the player cams, and you can understand why. This guy has had a pretty good game, as teleport in from Vikla. Clear is extraordinarily low, though, as the Naba has been filled. The all-out does come through here, as that wall upon it, too, is fantastic. He nars them both away, but it's just too many. And it's Vikla that's able to lock down the kill onto the Gnar.
Does get a free Baron Smite off. I don't think there's a way to lose this game.
Well, there's Pulverize from Peter, but I think he's the one that's going to get pulverized. He does have the Unbreakable Will, but it's looking very breakable.
Well, that was cute. He tried to... keeps going in.
I think a piercing arrow landed. BDD is actually hitting a bunch of these death rays, but the Baron is still just going down. And Cuz, 1 versus 2 here, and he's going to have to heartbreak away. He does do so, but he's, even with Flash, is still dead. Casting looking for a bit of an angle. The Baron is going to be secured. And BNK now looking to wrap this up with a team fight as well, as KT trying to get the damage down. It's a decent crush to get Casting out of there. Vikla attempts to go on over as the Chaos Storm coming on through, but Clear is just so tanky. And Diablo is going to be able to find Peter once again. He was fresh out of the death chamber and is immediately back in there again. And KT, I mean, we knew this was going to be a 3-gamer.
Diablo?
But this, yeah, Diablo is just messing with them now. Another one, Arcane shift over, misses a bunch of buttons, but he'll have another one as Padak just charges up a Q, and it just does pitiful amounts of damage.
The last AD carry, or Challenger AD carry, saw be this completely unhinged.
There from Raptor in order to get a beautiful Grasping Roots. Yeah, this is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Emperor's Divide is going to hit the cow, and Peter walks it off. Vikla goes golden because he thinks it looks cool, and it does. As the inner turret is going to fall, and BNK, they can do stuff like that because it doesn't really matter what they do now. They are so incredibly far ahead. 9,000 gold at 28 minutes. And Cuz just having to back away from Clear, who is a raid boss in unto himself. They'll take this inhibitor turret. The rest of KT, they are grouped. They're looking for an angle. The Stranglethorns, though, is going to block off Peter from the rest of his team, and Diablo is going ballistic. Nexus turret's now under fire. BDD does use his Zhonya's, and Kellen and Vikla are taking a fair bit of damage, but honestly, it just doesn't matter, as the True Shot Barrage is going to destroy this Viego. Diablo, what was that? That was super strange, but never mind. Nexus turrets are still going to lie on the floor as Vikla, he's flashing, he's looking for more. He takes down BDD and Padak, and the Nexus will fall, and BNK will bring us to a game 3.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.